vintage silver dollars, the Morgans, the Peace, the vintage coins. And then there's the modern Morgan and Peace market the last 5 years. Very, very popular. But there's one coin in the Peace Dollar series, the vintage Peace Dollar series, that just has so many asterisks next to it on how special this coin is. And when you start looking at all the numbers around it, you hear the phrase, no two coins are ever made equal. Well, this one tops the charts. So for a few minutes anyways, let's enjoy the end of the era San Francisco style. So the Peace Dollar is introduced in 1921. The war is over. The American public wants a new silver dollar. The U.S. Mint says, okay, we can do this. And we argue for almost a year to figure out what the design is. We change the design from the talons with arrows to talons with an olive branch. Solved. That's what it came down to. So from 22 through 35, we had multiple coins being made every year. The end of the era, the last year a silver dollar, a 90% silver dollar, was struck for circulation in this country was 1935. The end of the era. We pulled gold in 1934, right? We pulled silver dollars in 1935. When you look at 1935, you have Philadelphia and you have San Francisco, two coins that were made. Both of them very comparable mintages. Philadelphia wins out by only a couple of coins. But when you start looking at the real math, 35 is one of the secrets in the entire series. Let me next explain the grade. Because for us here at America's Value Channel, just to keep things simple and clean, we have circulated coins, which are beautiful collector grade. They're going to range from VG to VF, beautiful collector grade, eye appeal, right? Then all of us have the other side, which is uncirculated, which is where we'd all love to be if we could afford it. But some coins, it's just very difficult to afford or find. And then there's this grade that is technically called an about uncirculated, which is 50 to 59 on the 70-point scale. But Don brought this up years ago. My friend and esteemed colleague, love him to death. He came up with the word super slider, right? And it's because when we're talking about an uncirculated coin, those four words, based upon where I pause, is either an AU, about uncirculated, or I'm talking about an uncirculated coin. Very confusing. Not for anybody to be confused. We don't want that. So super slider was coined. You see that? Yeah. Wasn't even trying. And the rest is history. Now the industry's adopted his language. And the answer is value. When you look at the coin, now we have more information. The old days, we had the guidebooks, the red books, the blue books, etc. And it told us how many were made. You can look at all the years and all the mints, and you can figure out which ones were less of a mintage. The question was, could you find any of them? And you, in your mind, kept track of which ones you could and couldn't find. I had books I traveled with for most of the 80s and 90s. That just reminded me of what I could not find and why, right? And then NGC PCGS comes on to the surface, and now it's the industry. Right? Certified coins are the industry. I look at mintage figures and how many coins have been seen as two big indicators of crazy value. Mintage figure, and then how many have been seen. In 40 years, NGC has only seen 13,537. NGC and PCGS added together, 13,537 coins. Out of 1.9 million. Why is that significant? Well, let's look at the two rarest coins in the series. The 28P, 22,900. The second rarest, the 27P, 18,200. The fabled 21 high relief. Right? That one's 42,000 coins seen in 40 years, the two big services combined. This one, under 14, 13,537. In uncirculated condition, this is north of $1,000. In circulated condition, These coins are 140 to 170. Look at our coin. Look at the quality. These coins that look unk, they slide by as, well, not unk, but they slide by as thinking they are. Technical aspects tell us they're 53 to 55 on the technical scale. Look at the value. My competition for the same coin. An AU condition, about uncirculated condition, and they're at 439. We're less than half. While this coin lasts. Great way to end the show, right? This is a great piece.